What's good? It's your boy TC, IFBB Men's Physique Pro, coming at you with episode 5 in my series of men's physique tips and tricks. Now today I'm going to bring you 3 additional tips related to diet and nutrition. I said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it 1,000 times. Diet and nutrition is the most important factor in achieving your desired results, whatever they may be. Maybe you're looking to drop some weight and bring in some conditioning. Maybe you're looking to add some size. Maybe you're looking to prepare for a show, which is why you're here. Regardless of what those goals are, your diet and nutrition have to be on point in order to achieve those results. So today we're going to talk about water, what to do with water, the days leading up to your show and the day of the show, and really what not to do with water, as you'll find out. We're also going to talk a little bit about what I like to eat the day of the show, during pre-judging and as I'm waiting to go up on stage, and also between pre-judging and the night show. We're also going to talk about supplements. The supplements I like to use in conjunction with my diet to aid in achieving the results I'm looking to achieve. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and start it with tip number 1. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about water, the good old H2O, and what you want to do with it the days leading up to the show and the day of the show. Now, normally I consume about 2 gallons of water a day. I'll drink 1 gallon during the course of the day and 1 gallon while I'm at the gym. So typically, as I prepare for the show, I don't train those last 2 days, so my water does taper off a little bit, probably down to about 1.5 gallons. Still a lot of water. Yes, I go to the bathroom a lot, but that's where I feel comfortable hydration wise. So the point is, everybody's a little bit different, but whatever your normal baseline intake of water is, you want to continue that during the course of your prep, including the days leading up to the show. You'll hear stories about all kinds of crazy things, like guys taking sips of water, days before the show. That's crazy, right? Here's why. If you change your normal routine from a water consumption perspective, your body is going to begin to retain all the water that you're actually taking in, and you're going to bloat, okay? And that's not what you want, right? So the point is, you've prepared, right? You're ready for the stage. You've gotten to this point doing what you've been doing. The last thing you want to do is make changes at that point, especially with water. Here's a picture of the IFBB North Americans in Pittsburgh, where I got my pro card. And what you'll see is, and by the way, it's a poor quality selfie, but you can still see the vascularity I have. This is when I woke up from a nap after traveling to Pittsburgh, where I was consuming all kinds of water on the plane, right? I was downing water the whole time. You'll see that you don't need to cut water to get to that level of conditioning and vascularity, right? You're gonna do that with your diet and your nutrition and your training, okay? Water's got nothing to do with that, all right? So if somebody's telling you that, they don't know what they're talking about, right? You don't need to change water. Continue to drink. You're gonna continue to expel it because your body's used to that, and you're gonna get as dry and as lean as you want, but it's not gonna be based around manipulating water. Now, as far as the day of the show, I've tried both. I've tried continuing to consume water normally, and I've tried to not consume any water, right? I stopped the night before. I found that neither one made that big of a difference. Because if I continue to consume it, I continue to expel it, right? And if I stopped, then I did not use the bathroom, right? But the point was, I didn't have any water at that point for it to hold. So the point is, it made no difference. So after I kind of experimented with that on a couple shows, I decided to just continue to consume water, and that's what I do now. So try those both out. Again, the day of the show is probably not going to make that big of a difference, but what you want to do is stick to whatever you decide. If you decide no water, then it's no water, okay? If you decide to continue to drink normally, okay? So maintain whatever it is you're doing, pick one and stick to it, so you'll look exactly like you want when you get up on stage. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about what I like to eat the day of the show. Now, my staples for the morning, right, before pre-judging, are rice cakes, peanut butter, and all natural jelly, right, strawberry jelly. Why? Okay, here's why. I don't like to have a whole bunch of food in me. I just don't like the way it feels. I typically train fasted. I don't like training on a full stomach. I don't want to be on stage with a full stomach, okay? Now, what the peanut butter is going to do, right, it's going to give you those fats that you need to kind of keep you going. Also, if you note that in my prior episode where I talked about my pre-contest diet, the days leading up to the show, right, I start consuming some fats, I start eating some of that peanut butter, so my body's already used to it, so I'm not really introducing anything new, which is good as well, because you don't want to really, you know, try anything new the day of the show. So peanut butter, keep you nice and full, keep you going, give you the energy you need. The jelly is to get some sugars in you, okay? The sugar is going to hopefully bring out your vascularity, right? A lot of people will be eating candy, you know, and you'll see them eating, you know, M&Ms and Reese's cups, and getting their sugar that way. That's great. I'm not a huge fan of eating candy, so I go with the jelly. Again, candy, I think it's got a bunch of other stuff in it, you know, all kinds of chemicals and whatnot. Again, not things that my body's been used to eating. So some nice, clean, all-natural strawberry jelly is what works well for me. Again, it gives me the energy I need, brings out that vascularity, right? The peanut butter kind of supports it all as well. And I don't get really full, right? I don't want to go up there really full. I want to be nice and tight, and it really helps me do that. Now, in between pre-judging and the night show, right? And of course, everything's pretty much done during pre-judging, unless you win your class, and then you're going to go up for the overall, and then you're going to have live judging happening at that point. But either way, you want to look good, right? Here's what I do, and it may be surprising to you, right? I go eat a huge hamburger, huge cheeseburger, right? And French fries. What, right? Here's why. You've been starving your body, okay, this whole time, okay? Now, what's gonna happen is the first time you eat a meal like that, your body is gonna react very positively to that. And it's really the sodium, right? You're gonna be getting a lot of salt in there. It's gonna make you really full. It's gonna make you really hard. It's not enough, right, to make you spill over and really hurt your conditioning because it's so close to when you're going on stage. So treat yourself. Go get yourself a big, I'm not talking about McDonald's or Burger King, right? I'm talking about a big hamburger, cheeseburger with French fries. Again, whatever you're doing with water, continue to do that. Don't change that up. So if you're not drinking water, continue to not drink. It's going to be tough to down all that food without any water, but that's what you've chosen to do. But again, the sodium is going to help fill you up. It's going to keep you tight, and I think you're really going to like what you look like at the night show. A lot of times, a lot of people have told me I look better in the night show. Well, guess what? It's because I had that huge meal, right? I got that sodium in me. So give it a shot. Sounds crazy. Treat yourself, right? You've been through all these weeks of prep. Here's a little treat for you, kind of the beginning of that. So go ahead, get yourself a big hamburger, big cheeseburger, and some French fries, and see what happens. I think you're gonna like the results. All right, so let's talk about supplements, right? Probably the hottest topic in bodybuilding. You'll hear all kinds of comments and opinions about supplements, all the way from the fact that they're totally useless and they do nothing, to the fact that they're the greatest thing under the sun. The truth is somewhere in the middle, okay? Depending on your lifestyle, depending on when you train, I do feel like they can aid you in achieving your goals and your results, right? And they do for me. So what do I mean by that, right? Well, I wake up really early in the morning, right? Usually before 5 a.m. I don't usually get to the gym till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, right? That's a long day, okay? I'm tired by the time I get to the gym, right? So I feel like they help me achieve my results, and that's why I choose to use them. Now, that being said, remember, they're called supplements, right? They're meant to supplement your diet, nutrition, and your training, okay? They're not a magic pill, they're not a magic wand. They're not going to turn you into the Incredible Hulk overnight. You have to have your diet, your nutrition, and your training on point for them to be able to do what they're supposed to do, which is aid you once you've got all those other bases covered in achieving your results, okay? So let's talk about the staple supplement, right, that is kind of the basis for really all supplementation plans, creatine, okay? Creatine is probably the most well-researched, well-documented, has been for a long time supplement out there, right? Really everybody should be using creatine, right? If you're working out consistently, it's going to aid you in those workouts, right? It's going to give you more fullness, it's going to give you a little bit more strength, right? Help you get a couple more reps in, maybe a little bit more weight, right? And who doesn't want that, right? So I choose to go with M5 Reloaded from Cellucor. It's kind of a designer creatine, so obviously it's got creatine in it. It's also got a carb matrix that gets you a little bit of carbs, a little bit of extra energy, which is why I actually dose it pre-workout, so I can take advantage of those. It's also got betaine in it, which gives you, again, some pump, right? So it's also going to help you with the pumps in the gym, and who doesn't like pumps, right? So again, creatine, 3 to 5 grams a day. You want to take it every day. It's meant to be saturated in your body, right? And you want to maintain saturation. You don't need to do loading, right? You hear all kinds of stuff about creatine. You don't need to do loading. You don't need to, you know, come off of it and take a break for a while. That would actually be counterproductive because you would lose your saturation, which is the whole point. But basically, you just start taking it. About 2 weeks in, you'll be fully saturated, right? You'll really start to see the benefits. You may go up a little bit in weight because it's going to retain a little bit of water intracellularly, which means you're not going to lose any conditioning, which is great. But you're going to feel a little bit stronger, and you're going to maybe be able to get a couple more reps, a little bit more weight, and who doesn't want that, right? So again, creatine is definitely a staple in my regimen. Next thing I want to talk about are pre-workouts, right? Within the supplement category, probably, again, the hottest topic are pre-workouts, right? There's a lot of different options out there. And a lot of them are different, right? There's a lot of different ingredients in them. There's a lot of very different levels of stimulant, right? Caffeine being the, sort of the most widely used stimulant. I like to use C4 from Cellucor. Obviously, right, I like Cellucor. But anyways, the thing about C4 is that it's actually very low on the stimulant side per scoop. And what I like about it is that lets me adjust how much I'm going to use, right, depending on how I feel that day. So anywhere from half a scoop to 2 scoops, right, which is kind of the upper limit. You don't really want to do more than 2 scoops, are the different dosages that you can play around with. And again, read the label, see what you're getting with each scoop. And then sort of assess your tolerance, right, and see you know, what makes you feel right, and maybe what's a little too much or a little too little. But again, C4, good staple supplement. It's won a lot of awards. It's a very popular pre-workout because it's very versatile, right? It doesn't start off with, you know, 1 scoop, 400 milligrams caffeine, right, which is a lot. It lets you kind of play around, and it's very flexible. So that's why I like C4. Along those lines, another one that I would put in the pre-workout category that I like to use is Super HD from Cellucor. Now Super HD is a little bit different. It is sort of a pre-workout because it does have caffeine and some stimulants, but it's also a thermogenic, so it's really more for kind of like a cardio type session or a high intensity training session. Now I actually use this only when I'm doing fasted cardio in the morning for contest prep, right? So towards the end of my prep, when I add some more cardio and I'm going in the morning, I use Super HD at that point, and then I still do my C4 at night, okay? And there's a big time lapse there, right? You don't really want to take these, you know, one right after the other or even within a couple hours. You want to give your body some time in between. But what it does is kind of give me that kick in the butt to get me going, especially in the morning when I'm waking up pretty tired already. It's also thermogenic, so it's going to get you going, get you sweating, which is of course what you want in cardio. And it's got a little bit of an appetite suppressant as well. So especially if you're, if you're dieting down, it's going to kind of help you with the hunger aspect of that. So again, I like Super HD from Cellucor for those reasons as well. Intra workout, okay, during workout. I like to work out fasted, okay. I don't like having a bunch of food in my stomach. So I like to consume some aminos. People call them BCAAs, which is really what they are. Those are taking really intra workout is really where you want to do those. And what they do is kind of feed your body and keep you from burning muscle, right? They're muscle sparing. That's what they're called. So what I like to do, and I like alpha amino, again from Cellucor. Lots of great flavors, by the way. Definitely want to try them out, see which one you like the most. But I put 2 or 3 scoops right in my gallon of water, right? It gives the water a little bit of a taste, which is great, right? Makes it taste good. It's a lot of water, right, that I'm consuming during about a 2-hour period. So that's always an added benefit. It's a little taste there. But it kind of feeds me during my workout, right? It keeps me going, gives me some good endurance during the workout. I may have not eaten for 3 hours, right? Because I don't like going in with food in my stomach. So it's really essential to do that. Now, if you're gonna eat right before you go work out, pretty much meaningless, right? Especially if you're having protein, because protein has BCAAs, okay? So really only if you're training fasted, and if you're cutting, right? You're not eating a lot, that's where the aminos and the BCAAs help you out, okay? So like I said, I use them because I train fasted, okay? Last one, ZMA, okay? Zinc magnesium, right? So again, Cellucor. Now the reason I use this or I take this is because I don't get a lot of sleep, right? Unfortunately, that's the one thing that I really don't have control over. I wish I could sleep more. I need to sleep more, but it just doesn't fit into my schedule, right? I mean, I'm going to the gym at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, right? I'm in there for 2 or 3 hours. Gotta get home, gotta shower, gotta get ready for bed, right? Before you know it, it's midnight or later, and I'm up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? So not a lot of time there. So what the ZMA does is, at least for me, it really doesn't put me to sleep. I'm ready to go to sleep, I'm tired. But what it does is let me get into a very deep, and you know, deep sleep where, you know, a small sound isn't gonna wake me up. And I really feel like it helps me recover better. So it helps me take better advantage of those few hours of sleep that I'm gonna get. I mean, I sleep like a rock when I take this. Just follow the instructions, it's 4 caps. Take it about half an hour before you go to bed. And like I said, it's not really to fall asleep with, but it kind of gives you a very deep sleep very quickly. It gets you into that, you know, that recovery, right, sleep that you need very quickly, and lets you sleep really through the night. And it, you know, basically zinc and magnesium are the main ingredients there, so those are always good. So again, Cellucor ZMA is what I like to use there. That's about it. I mean, those are the staples. Like I said, depending on where I am with contest prep, I'll use some of the other ones like the Super HD. But really, creatine, pre-workout, and aminos are the basics. ZMA helps me get better sleep. And again, the Super HD for my fasted morning workouts, cardio sessions. Alright, well that's going to do it for episode 5 in a series of men's physique tips and tricks with your boy TC, IFBB Men's Physique Pro. Hopefully you got some good information regarding diet and nutrition today. We talked about water, we talked about what I like to eat the day of the show, and we also talked about my supplement regimen. If you haven't already done so, please follow the channel. That way you can stay up to date as new videos are released. And also please follow me on the various social media sites listed below, so you can keep track of what I'm doing to prepare to compete professionally in 2015. Until next time, stay swole and leave it all in the gym each and every time.